big flaw of e-commerce was that they thought at the beginning that people would only purchase online, and they're realizing that it's no longer e-commerce or brick and mortar, it's commerce.
Cloud Moves TV is here with Jean-Paul Chauvet. He's the president at Lightspeed, a platform allowing customers to grow their retail, restaurant or e-commerce businesses to create flawless customer experiences. JP is a leading mind in technology and he joins us now on Cloud Moves TV. Jean-Paul, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today. Real pleasure to have you on.
Very happy to be here.
Now, what services can Lightspeed offer and what problems can your platform solve?
So Lightspeed is we have a point of sale, which is a platform that helps retail stores run their business, and we've integrated that with an omni-channel system, which is an e-commerce platform. And what we solve is we basically virtualize operations of a store in the cloud, and we enable basically small independent retailers across the globe, 100 countries, to really compete. So we bring big box technology to small independent retailers in the cloud.
And did you fundamentally spot a flawed gap in the market that you believe Lightspeed could solve?
Yes, absolutely. So our view of the market is you have a chasm that's bigger and bigger between the big players and kind of the mega brands who have a lot of money for technology, have a lot of money to develop systems to compete, and then the small guy who basically does not have money, does not have time. And our view is that we want cities to stay cities, and for us, what makes diversity in cities is really to help small independent retailers compete. So what we've done is we've tried to package basically big box point of sale and big box e-commerce platforms in a small monthly fee, so that the small independent guys can really do as well as the big stores.
And how do you believe omni-channel platforms are reshaping retail?
Well, I think it's not really the platforms that are reshaping retail. I think the consumer is an omni-channel consumer. And I think more and more consumers really are a blend of online and offline, and you need to be able to engage with the consumer more and more wherever they want to engage with you. And I think the other big thing that's happening is that 90% of consumers start by searching online before they end up in a store buying an item. So if you don't have an online presence and you don't have a good e-commerce platform that's integrated to your inventory inside of the store, you'll end up not getting the foot traffic in your store.
And what traditional e-commerce methodologies do you think are now obsolete due to new and disruptive technologies?
Yeah, I think like every new technology, I think the first steps of e-commerce was to create a completely different silo. And I think the perspective, or the flawed perspective when e-commerce started, was that people would or go and purchase in store, and different individuals would purchase online. And then what we've realized with the time is that actually the same consumers will purchase online and will purchase in store. So I think what's flawed in e-commerce, I think if you look at an e-commerce platform alone, and you do not have a good transition for your in-store, you won't engage with your audience in the right way. And I think, you see it really in the trends of the market, is when e-commerce started, everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be the end of retail, and everyone's going to purchase online. And actually what you're seeing more and more is now a lot of the big e-commerce players are opening physical stores. And that's really because, the brand engagement in 3D will always be strong. And actually, if you look at lifetime value and people and association to brands in the offline world will always be stronger than online. So what you see right now is that the big online players are trying to develop offline strategies, and that's mainly because cost of acquisition online is becoming big. And you'll see a lot of the offline stores are now also developing online strategies. And I think, you come from media, and I think media went through the exact same thing where, 10 years ago, you had an online presence and an offline presence, and now what we realize is the same audience are going to buy newspapers and are going to engage with your website online, and you see the worlds merging together. And I think so, just answering your question, I think the big flaw of e-commerce was that they thought at the beginning that people would only purchase online, and they're realizing that it's no longer e-commerce or brick and mortar, it's commerce, and it's basically engaging with the brand wherever they want to buy.
So what do you think the next big thing in technology is going to be, and how do you think businesses will be communicating with their customers come 2020?
So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see the offline world, so normal physical stores, become behavioral. And what I mean by this is all the strategies that were adopted online where it's all about conversion rates, it's all about cost of the audience. You're going to see more and more of this in the offline world. And I think what you're going to see is more and more retailers are actually going to look at channels. So they're going to be looking at online, offline, mobile devices as channels, and they will be more and more measuring engagement and measuring conversion rates regardless of where you buy. So I think you're going to see more and more door counting and behavioral technology in the offline world, and you're going to see actually on the online world a lot of the offline strategies also that are going to be adopted, and you'll see that more and more of the online pure players are going to want to have strategies where they will engage offline at some point with the audience because they know that that's where the brand association is the strongest.
Absolutely. And Jean-Paul, just one very last question. What would you say to people who haven't been able to attend eCommerce today and are thinking of coming next year? What would you say to those individuals?
I would say the business is changing so rapidly, and I really think there's a huge transition that's happening in commerce and e-commerce, and I think a show like this is just great because it helps the entire industry just stay au fait and know what's going on, and I think for us we participate here because there's a lot of buyers.
Fantastic, Jean-Paul. Thank you very much. That's Jean-Paul Chauvet. He's the president at Lightspeed, speaking to us here. I'm Emma Boyle, and this is Cloud Moves TV.